material, which is something in the book. Something in the book is great because it's a punto de partida. It's something that all students can understand, okay? It's great for all levels. And guess what? There are activities. Hay muchas actividades en el libro. There are lots and lots of activities. So we don't have to do that much work. El trabajo para nosotros. No hay mucho, eh? All right? So, and new vocabulary is introduced. But the weak point, sometimes too easy, demasiado fácil, and not really a challenge. No hay un desafío para los alumnos. There's no challenge. So now let's look at some ejemplos. Okay, don't worry about scaffolding. That's something different. Don't worry about that. Okay, so who were the Neanderthals? This comes from a periódico para los niños que se llama The Mini Page. And if you send me an email, I will send you the enlace, the link, and then that way you can download, bajar, each one como PDF. Each one is a PDF. Okay? Okay, the Paleolithic period, this comes from a book. Okay, so now, we're going to study invertebrates. Invertebrates. Okay? This video I got from YouTube. Completamente gratis. Espera. Okay? Oh, gotta go back. Hold on. Okay. Ahora. I want you to start thinking about what you see. Ooh. I can't move. And now what's going to happen? ¿Por qué un video sin sonido? Why no sound? Because number one, the students can't say, I don't understand. There was nothing to hear. And then you're going to pique the curiosity of students. And after this, you can ask the students, what did you see? They can give you the vocabulary. They can tell you what they saw. Then that way, that gives them the idea of actually taking account for their own learning. Then that way, they can tell you what they've seen instead of us telling them each and every single thing. And one thing I like to do is when they tell me what they saw, they make a list of vocabulary. Now we're going to watch it again, otra vez con sonido, again with sound, and let's see if what some of the students have written is correct.
As it wends its way through the rainforest, something captures this velvet worm's attention. No, it's not the fire beetle's flashing green light. Velvet worms are nearly blind, but they're super sensitive to air currents caused by movement. That's how they find their prey. And they love beetles. The worm itself moves so slowly, prey doesn't notice it creeping up. It's packing heat. Two pistols that fire sticky ropes, each up to a foot long. This barrage of gunfire is meant to paralyze prey with a quick drying adhesive. Slimed. The worm brandishes yet another concealed weapon, a knife in its jaw, used to pierce the body and inject saliva to liquefy the insides. The result? A beetle milkshake.
So, vocabulary, very easy. If you get them to watch it first, they can understand what they see, but without sound. The second time, with sound. Now, you may have to explain some vocabulary words, such as to pierce. To pierce. And they understand knife. Okay? And what's a milkshake? Batido. So he said it's a beetle milkshake. So what happens is, it cuts it open, it injects saliva, and it starts to blew. It starts to break it down. Now when I teach, I actually do little things like that. So what happens? The beetle goes, and I say, come on people, everyone, everyone. There you go. Start using your hands and gestures when you teach, especially in science, so students can understand. So if you're teaching photosynthesis, the roots of the tree absorb the minerals and it goes to the stems and the leaves. Don't be afraid to use your body language, especially when you're teaching a concept that's new for students. Okay, now we're going to move to cities. So I'm going to show you two ways that you can present a city. This is the best way. This is the fun way.
Cities and urban areas. Cities are densely populated areas and centres of many economic and social activities. The areas where cities are located define their shape, size, and environmental and cultural characteristics. The continuing growth of urban areas, or urbanization, means that today there are more people in the world living in towns and cities than in the countryside.
I think that's the best way to introduce cities, don't you? Yes or no? Why not?
Is it boring?
What is boring? What are you talking about that's boring? I think this is the best way because students can hear it, they can see a city, they can read along in their book. I think that's wonderful. Don't you agree? Yes or no? Good. Nah, forget that. How about if we introduce cities this way? Go for it. Yeah. videos. This one I got from Vimeo, V-I-M-M-E-O, Vimeo.com, and it's called The City Limits, as it said there. And if you go and you can download a tube catcher, and it allows you to download videos for free from hundreds of websites. There's also on Mozilla, the Mozilla Download Helper. So you can do either both. Mozilla Firefox has an add-on, which is called Download Helper, and you can download videos directly, or you can use a tube catcher. So now, why is this one more interesting? Students get a chance to see what a city is like. You can ask them, what are the similarities of all of the cities? They were big. There was light pollution. And there was also, quite sure, noise pollution. And then you can have them compare their city to one of the cities in the video. So remember, it's all about compare and contrast to get students speaking. And then once again, we're allowing students to actually talk to us and to give us answers. That's what we're allowing students to do. Because what we're not doing is allowing students to really compare and contrast. Because in the book, they read, they answer questions, nothing else. And there's always one right answer, that's it. So why aren't we letting students be open and giving them opportunities to speak to us about what they see and what they know? And the first mistake that we make, it happens every single year if you are an English teacher. I don't care if it's first, second, third, or fourth of ESO. We're going to, okay, boys and girls, in cuarto de ESO, we're going to start with the present simple and the present continuous. And all of my students put a whole profe otra vez. Yes, once again, because evidently you didn't learn it last year. So instead of going over all of that again, why not introduce a song? Have you heard of the song Tom's Diner? I am sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee. And he fills it only halfway. And before I even argue, he is looking out the window at somebody coming in. It's all present simple, present continuous. And if you want a copy, I ought to have it filled out so you can just pass it out in class. And I'll even send you the MP3 in 4 different sections, because the song is broken down into 4 different sections. That way, the students get a chance to fill in the blank while listening to a song, and then I have questions prepared where you can ask them questions about the song. And instead of saying, let's go over the rules for the present simple, let's go over the rules for the present continuous, now let's do a test. No, why aren't we looking for songs and different creative ways to go over the grammar? There's another song by Brandy Norwood called Have You Ever? Have you ever loved somebody so much it made you cry? Have you ever needed something so bad you can't sleep at night? And all reviews, the present perfect, simple, with experience. Have you ever? So there are plenty of songs that we can be doing as well as far as grammar and introducing grammar in a different way and reviewing it in a different way as well. Now, since we're talking about cities, why not do something with maps? And I can send you this as well as a PDF. I have everything prepared. You just ask, I'll give it to you. Okay? Don't be afraid. Do you remember that? They said, look, Sean, I would like this, and this from your presentation. Big bam, boom, it's yours. Use it in class. Now, this is something I took off of the internet. I took the map from the internet, but I took the images from a book. I do a lot of cutting and pasting using paint. There's some things I like in the book, some things I don't. So I would take some of the images and cut and paste on other images. Now this one, number 1 is a supermarket. Number 2 is the chemist. So first they had to identify where everything was on the map. So very easy. You go from the easiest to the most difficult. The easy thing. Number 1, supermarket. Yay! Number 2, chemist. Great! Number 11, the news agent. Yes, they're thinking, oh, I understand everything. Good. Next step, where is it located? Where's the supermarket? The supermarket is on the corner of Victory Lane and Texas Avenue. Good. So starting to learn how to give directions. Tell me where something is located. So the students really get excited then. Yes, I'm learning, yes. Now the third thing is difficult. How do you get from the supermarket to the newsagent? Oh, so now you have to tell me turn right, turn left, go on straight, or keep straight. And most of them told me, Sean, take a taxi. I said, sorry, no. No taxis, no. No taxis, no, not at all. So now notice we started from the easiest to the most difficult, but we did it por pasos. We did it step by step. First step, identify the place. Very easy. Second one, tell me where it's located. So now we're getting in and on. So that was a joke that I gave my students. Oh, it was a riddle, okay? Adivinanza. I travel around the world and end up in the corner. Now notice, in the corner. And so the answer is stamp, un sello. I travel around the world and I end up in the corner. So one of my students, he was so excited, he said, Sean, I know what it is. I said, what is it? A prostitute. I said, I'm sorry, baby, that is on the corner. There's a difference between on the corner and in the corner. So I said, now we're going to have to review prepositions. So on the corner, in the corner. On the corner, outside. In the corner is always inside. Oh. Because he didn't know. Okay, and very quickly, talking cards. I can send you this one as well. This is an activity where students have a deck of cards. And if they pull the king of hearts, they have to ask their partner a question. So I can say, where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Okay, you're from Mexico. And how long have you been living in Madrid?
I have been living in Oviedo for 8 years.
Okay, good. Sorry, Oviedo. This is not Madrid. I'm sorry, people. Sorry. Thinking about my trip going back. I got class at 8 o'clock tonight. Okay, sorry. All right, good. So, you've been living in Oviedo for 8 years. But the thing of talking cards is as well, is once the person asks a question, they have to ask 2 follow-up questions to keep the conversation going. Because what I'm noticing is a lot of my students don't know how to keep the conversation going. So what's your name?
My name is Gustavo.
And if I walk away, that's not keeping the conversation going. So once the person asks a question, they have to ask a follow-up question to keep the conversation going, and they can work in groups of 2, either in pairs or groups of 4. Okay, this one, bingo. You're talking about something that you want to review. We're going to review plants. I just got through teaching plants. So I can say, okay, we have gymnosperms, embryo, photosynthesis, stamen, ovary. We have all of the words. So I'm going to say a definition, and the students have to put the piece of paper on the answer. And so once they have it in a row, either this way, or this way, they can say bingo. But they have to tell you the word, for example, photosynthesis. Good, but what's photosynthesis? They can't just say the word, they also have to go back and define the word. And you can create your own cards. That's the beauty of it. You can create your own cards. Okay? And this is 10 ways to assess your students, other than getting away from an exam. Oral interview, class presentation, role play, a closed exam, fill in the blank, writing sample, portfolio, online quiz, multiple choice exam, and true-false quiz. So for example, what we just saw with the worm. Okay, come up, quickly, come up. What do you want to do? I know, yeah, okay. So he's the beetle. He's walking around, you're the beetle, okay? And you're the worm. Good, so you didn't catch him the first time. You didn't catch him the second time. Now you caught him. Good, so now you can't move. There you go, you can't move. And so then you take out your little pincers, and then you just suck them dry, okay? So why can't students act it out? Why can't they draw a picture? Instead of, they can tell you as well, but to see if they really understood it, they can draw their own little comic strip un dibujo animado with voices. I'm hungry. Ah, a nice beetle sandwich. Beetle sandwich. Oh, I missed the first time. Oh, the second time, no. But the third time, gotcha. And then it says, and I wonder what's for dessert. Something like that. Let the kids have fun. Okay, let them have fun. Okay, thank you. Sit down. Let them have fun. Okay, and that's the end. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Is this the light? Yeah. He said, you all in over here will have so much more technology than we got. An actual light where you can see that it's the light. You don't have to search for it. So any questions? No? So I would say so I'll take the phone. As I said, you all have my email address from yesterday. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. If not, I'll put some cards out over there. You can take a card. And ask me for some of the things that I told you about, and I will send them to you as a PDF, and I can also send you this as a PDF as well. So then that way you don't have to keep writing things down. And if you have any more questions about what I talked about yesterday, or either today, always send me an email. I do respond to email people. I promise, I respond to email. I'm not one of those people that, well, Sean, oh, that was last year. I'll get back in touch with her next year. No, I don't do that. So email me what you need or what you would like or some of your questions. I will answer them. And I also provide links as well that can help you as a teacher. I'll provide links as well. That's the most important thing. Because it's all about sharing. Because as I was explaining to Patricia, sometimes we get to the point where this is my idea. This is my idea. And none of these are my idea. This stuff came from the internet. I cannot take credit for this. But I can take credit for the way in which I used it in class. That's it. Even talking cards. If you type in talking cards in Google, it takes you to a great web page that has tons of games that you can use in the English classroom. Okay? So, thank you so much. I hope you get some emails now. Don't disappoint me. Okay. So, thank you.